Like live now?
Yes.
Oh, great,
Cari.
great, great, great.
Hey, Internet, it's Jake from A Terrain Domain, and this is Scribes and Scrolls. This is Chapter 7. No, this is Book 7, Under a Red Moon, Chapter 76, Big Mammy's House. And in just a few moments, we'll get a recap and bring you up to speed on what is happening. First, a couple quick announcements. If you take a look up above M's head in the corner there, you will see domain tomes. Domain tomes are a way that you can affect the game. Why are none of my chat commands working? There's supposed to be some rules here that tell you what they do. But I'll tell you, if you subscribe, resubscribe, gift a sub, cheer 500 bits, tip $5, any of that kind of stuff. Yeah, none of my commands are working. That will earn domain tomes. And it looks like this, when you do that, a new one appears, and the players can use those for a variety of things. Such as, well, let's see, you can buy hero point cards. You can use them. The most common use is use one to reroll. You can use 3 of them to avoid certain death, but you can only do that once per player per session, or you can use 5 tomes to change the success level of any die roll, up or down, including the game masters, by 1 level. Let's go ahead and add another one there. Thanks to Miko. I'm going to troubleshoot this real quick by simply logging into Stream Elements and see if that's what's holding back the connection. For all of those handy dandy things. In the meantime, by way of another announcement, I would like to remind you that in addition to this game, we have tomorrow is our second session of our brand new Pathfinder 2nd edition campaign, Sky Metal Iron Gods, with Vi as our game master, myself and M, along with I can't remember who's in the game, Em. Why can't I remember who's in our game?
Karen is also.
Oh my gosh, Karen and Sarah.
Yeah.
I'm picturing all the different games, and it doesn't help that there's so many people that cross over between the different games. And we recently redid that one from what was an Avernus campaign, so I blanked. I'm sorry, Karen and Sarah. But they are also a part of that. We also have on Thursday, Kids on Bikes are Welcome to Paradise, Michigan. And then this Friday, I will be over on Nerdarchy for the debut of the Old Guard. It's our monthly game, sponsored by Easy Roller Dice. And I finally get to play alongside Ted in a campaign. He is giving up the Game Master seat, turning it over to Robin, and they are going to run us through a sort of what they're calling a Da Vinci Punk style game. So it'll be interesting. Come on over and check that out. The only other thing, before I start forgetting everything, the only other thing that I am going to mention before we get into the game is a reminder that you matter. Your presence on this earth makes a difference. Whether you believe it or not, it is true. We know that you can be struggling for any number of reasons. We want you to know that you do not need to struggle alone. Things can get tough. I'm always been very open about mental health and my own struggles, and I won't go into details, but I learned this week that I lost a former brother-in-arms, fellow soldier that I served with back in the day, who took his own life. So please, if you are in a situation where you are struggling, the help message is not working in chat right now. Normally you can type !help, but if you look at the very bottom, it's there right now, and I will say it. It'll show up throughout the game. Go to findahelpline.com. It is a free website. All you have to do is put in your location. And if I do it, I get like 15 or 20 sites that pop up for all varieties of help services, from the National Suicide Hotline all the way through domestic situations, child services, you name it. They have health services, mental health services, and social services, phone numbers, text numbers, websites, whatever. There's so many ways you can get help out there. Please do reach out and talk to someone. Visit that site or check out takethis.org. They have numerous resources as well. Bookmark those sites, save them for yourselves, save them for a friend, and remember, you matter. With that, Cari's not here to say it, so I guess I'll say it. Let's find some paths, bitches. In our last couple of sessions, you all had been pulled over to investigate the sounds of a bear in distress. Freeing that bear, it seemed to belong to somebody and was beckoning you to follow it. Having followed that bear, you've kind of lost track of where the bear actually is, as you've all gotten yourself into, I would say you're in hot water. Which is sort of true, but each one of you is in your own pot of hot water, as you have somehow managed, although some of you are starting to get back together, you have somehow managed to split yourself in 4 different ways. 4 very different locations on the homestead here. Most notably, in this period of time, Mizya seems to have been collected willingly by a cadre of drow. As Flip witnessed this, Flip basically said that this is above my pay grade, and backed out of that situation. Mizya did get a hold of. Yeah, Mizya called Teera. Well, she did with a sending spell, or they did with a sending spell to let Teera know that they were all right. In the meantime, Kane and Teera had gotten trapped by a spider in the barn. Teera broke loose, got Kane loose, though Kane's unconscious. Flip came around the back of the barn and was able to get inside through very clever acrobatics through a tight space, proving his agility, and then immediately exploding a fireball above everyone's heads, burning the tops of the heads of the 3 ogrekin in there. The spider quickly grabbed Kane and disappeared down a hole. Teera burst through the door into the other room, reclaiming her sword so that she could fight alongside Vornush'ka, who is, let's be frank, Vornush'ka is getting her ass kicked by these 3 ogres. Meanwhile, Marda was on a simple exploration around the side of the house, got spotted by Mammy, who literally burst through the wall of her room and has been slowly pursuing Marda across the yard, casting spells. And when we last left off, Mammy had finally reached Marda, who is currently blinded, and placed her fingers on Marda's shoulder and sapped away with a vampiric touch some of Marda's life energy. And that is where we are picking things back up again, as we are back in the barn on Vornush'ka's turn. I will say, Vornush'ka, as we switch the camera over to inside the barn, the rafters of the barn are on fire from Flip's fireball. So the roof of the barn is beginning to burn, and you can hear a lot of this old dry wood starting to snap and crack, and a little bit of ash is starting to rain down around all of you. But Teera is now standing a few feet away from you with her sword in her hands, and it is your turn, Vornush'ka.
So Vornush'ka is going to take her first turn to look around and get a good view of the battlefield to see her positioning in between the orcs and ogres. Not orcs. I'm an orc. Silly me. Yeah, that's the first thing I want to do.
So basically, you are right around there. Oh, there we go. You are right about the middle of this front section. Fire is raining down from above. You've got Teera closer to the door in the middle of the room. Flip is in that back room. And you've basically got the three ogres kind of staggered around you, all within striking distance.
All right. Do I know Flip's in the back? I wasn't sure if that was clear knowledge or
I mean,
harsh knowledge.
the doors are open. You can see in there, and he was the source of the fireball that exploded above everybody's heads.
Okay. And then the barn is quickly catching fire.
Yes, the barn roof is now actively burning.
Okay. Well, Vornush'ka knows the smart thing to do would be to funnel the enemies out of that doorway and let them come out one by one. But that's not quite the situation we're in right now. The closest one to me, is there one standing in between myself and that door where Flip's at?
Essentially, yes. Okay. There's sort of pincered between you and Teera.
Okay. All right. What we're going to do is Vornush'ka's going to come in with drawing the axe behind her in the low stance, and she's going to start running towards the axe, the ogre in the middle.
Okay.
And
so that is going to be our friend Jeppo, who has the abnormally large eyes.
Ooh, abnormally large eyes. How much taller are they than I am?
They are, I think we said that they were around 7 feet or so.
Okay, so only like 1.5 feet taller, maybe. Or maybe like a foot taller. Okay. Alright. Well then. Scratch running towards them with my axe. Vornush'ka is going to, in one hand, pick up a handful of dirt, and in the other hand, hold her axe and still charge towards. I just want to pick up a handful of dirt first.
All right.
And
scoop up some dirt.
Yeah, and as I get within striking distance, I'm going to throw the handful of dirt into the larger eyes of this ogre.
All right, I'm going to have them make a reflex save.
I'm trying to find my character sheet.
You suspect with these abnormally large eyes, Jeppo may be able to see into the future. He got a 33 on his reflex save.
Nice. So he dipped out of the
So he closes his eyes briefly and kind of ducks just enough to avoid getting the dust in his eyes.
Good, because that was a trap. Because as he's ducking, I'm uppercutting him with the axe. That was the plan.
Take your attack.
Oh, on the floor, it's a 19 on the floor, plus whatever my character. I'm trying to find my character sheet. I'm able to find it for just a second. I think I got like a plus, like 11 or something. Hold on.
Ricky's rolling his attacks before he even has his character sheet open.
I know, right? Here it is. All right, let's see. So that's 19. And then on my dex, let's see, on my attack. Forgive me. Battle axe. So what is that? Do I add 19 plus the number that's underneath that melee strike number there?
Yeah, what is that?
Okay, 15, so it'll be a 34.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely a hit.
Perfect. And then we do a 1d8 for the...
And as you strike, you feel for just a split second, as your axe connects, you feel that familiar sensation of when you first picked up the blood axe, and it felt like you were grabbing hold of a thorned, a fistful of thorns. It's just for a split second.
And
then it goes away. And that is your first attack and your second action.
Do I attack again?
If you want. That's -5 to attack.
You know what? We'll swing up. I only did, I think, 4 points of damage. I got a 1 and I get +3, I think, for strength on that. If I'm reading that correctly.
Yeah, whatever that says, 1d8 plus whatever for your weapon damage.
Yeah, I think I did 4. We'll call it 4 points for now. And yeah, so I'm just going to hold the action, maybe in a defensive stance, to see what happens next.
Okay. So Teera is up next, and roll me a d20, please.
Is a 19.
Okay. Let me just check the stats here. So that's a 19. So what happens is, as Teera has just grabbed her sword, you see her raising it, getting ready to strike at one of these ogres. And as she swings out and connects, roll me 2d12.
Add them together?
Yep.
Oh, what? Okay. Sorry. 1 second. It rolled with the d20 for some reason. 17 total.
17, and then roll a d6.
Oh, sorry. No. 10 total. I can't read.
Oh, that's fine.
10 total.
And then roll a
and
d6
then
and
the
add it
D6
to that.
is a 2.
Okay, and then
Yeah,
a 2.
so that's 12.
12. I don't remember where her strength bonus is. I'm just going to let it 15. As she swings her sword and she strikes at... I'm sure there's bonuses in there for raging, but I don't have her sheet. Let's see. So she hits Horgarth, who is the one that has the 3 arms. As she strikes him, she suddenly cries out in anger. In fact, you just hear her, "What the f-?" And she looks down, and Vornush'ka, you can see that the ground beneath Teera's feet is churning, and she's slipped down to her knees into the now soft earth. And she doesn't just like slide down. and you would see this too, Flip. She just suddenly, she's standing there, and then suddenly, she's kind of pulled down at knee level. Gary, roll me a d20, please.
19.
Excuse me, and then roll 2d12 and a d6. Because that was, I believe...
18.
Okay, 18 total.
Yep.
Because even with that 19 becoming a 15, that's still enough for Teera to hit Horgarth. Where is his HP? Okay. As she takes a second strike, and then Ricky, roll me a d20, please. You roll a freaking 19.
My d20 was a 10.
Okay. With the third action, Teera takes her sword and she takes it and kind of holds it crossways like this. Suddenly you see her sort of grab the end of the blade as she looks over at you, Vornush'ka, and then you just watch as Teera goes and is pulled down into the ground up to chest level, holding onto this sword.
Mm-hmm.
And you see her hand sort of slide along the blade a little bit, and you see that blood that's drawn from the couple points that she takes as she cuts her own hand, as it instantly freezes from the cold damage her sword does.
Mm.
And then
Yikes.
you see her go underground, holding the sword, and the sword flips up, and the last thing you see, like Terminator, is Teera being pulled into the soft earth, holding on to her sword. That's Teera's turn. And that's
Tremors.
that turn. That takes us to Horgarth, Jeppo, and Sugar. Horgarth is looking really bad. Do you, Vornush'ka, have anything that is a reaction? Presumably from the field or from the bus, Cari is blessing you all with a domain tome.
Okay, you're asking me, do I have like a reaction to everything that's
do
going
you
on?
have a reaction to make opportunity attacks? Because it's not a
Oh.
foregone. It's an ability you have to have.
Ah, okay, let me
Or
check.
or do you have any kind of reactions that you can take, Flip, if somebody tries to leave? They're not
I
in
have
your area of effect, Flip, but do you have any reactions?
I have a attack of opportunity.
Okay.
Wait a minute. What level am I? Yeah, I have attack of opportunity. I thought.
So you can take it if you want, because Horgarth is looking around and he is going to shove one of his brothers.
The first time anybody's ever shoved anyone in this
It
campaign,
is
huh?
absolutely the first time as a shove action. Let's see, against your target's fortitude. So let's see. Oh, this freaking thing. One moment, there we go. So he is going to. Horgarth looks around at all of you. He rolls a 14-29 versus his brother's fortitude. You see the smaller one who looks like he skips leg day, which is Sugar. Hogarth, whatever his name is. Horgrath. Jeez. Looks around at all of you and he shoves Sugar in front and between him and you, Vornush'ka. And he turns and makes a beeline for the front door. Now you have that attack of opportunity you can take if you want to make a free attack against him.
Yes.
Well, it uses your reaction. It's not free, but...
Well... Okay. All right. And Teera has disappeared, right?
Teera just got pulled into the ground.
Okay. All right. And the guy's turning around and running away, correct?
Yep. The one with 3 arms.
Okay. Yeah, my attention's going to be on Teera being pulled to the ground, so no. I mean,
Okay.
if it's a free attack, I'll take it. But I want to be able to respond to Teera being dragged away.
Yeah, I mean, it's a reaction, and you have it, so it's up to you if you want to take it.
Yeah, then we're going to go for it.
Yep, swing your axe.
Yeah. I'm going to... Yeah. That's a 17 plus 15 is a 32 to hit.
That is a hit.
Wow, if I don't stop throwing ones on the actual hit, 6 points of slashing damage. Jeez.
You open up Ograth's back, slicing between the shoulder blades as he turns to run after shoving his brother. And he uses his next 2 actions to run out the door, leaving Sugar and Jeppo to make their attacks. And they are attacking with these what do they have? Looks like they have rapiers. No, that's not right. That's the wrong thing. They don't have rapiers. What do they have? Oh, they have those ogre hooks. Okay. So Sugar is going to be flat-footed because of being shoved. Tell me what you do. I can't remember. You take a... Okay, it's a penalty to AC. So, Sugar rolls a 10 on the die with a +1, and with his to hit, his attack is okay. There it is. So that's a 26 to hit you, Vornush'ka. What's your AC? You're muted.
AC is 27.
AC is 27?
Yes, sir.
AC is 27? You're giving me a grin.
Yeah, it's 27. I can screenshot you if you want it.
No, that's fine. It's just, it's the fact that you said my AC is 27 and then you went,
yeah, because you said 26 to hit. That made me happy.
okay, that is an 11 plus 15 is 26 plus the +1 to hit.
Oh,
that is
boo.
that's a 15 piercing damage. And then the one you tried to blind is going to take his attacks at you.
I don't remember what my hit points were from the last session. I know I was getting my butt kicked. Would you be okay with me? I have 114 total, but because I don't remember, is it okay if I just go half or what?
You were at around 60, as I recall you saying.
Okay. All right. That
if you write them on your character sheet and then save it when you close it, they'll be there next time. All right, I'm gonna tell me when to stop. Ricky, tell
Stop.
me when to stop.
Stop.
Let's see, melee. Oh, excellent. So I rolled a 1
Nice.
for Jeppo. And as Jeppo goes to take a swing at you, he slips on the loose soil from whatever grabbed Teera, and he is now prone. He falls flat on his face. When you are prone,
I get an opportunity.
you already used your opportunity. So that's going to be an attack action, and then he falls prone. And he is going to use his stand action to get back up again. As the barn continues to burn around you, and we see Hogarth crash through the doors and run out into the open air. The camera sort of zooms past him up to this area at the back of the property where Mammy has grabbed hold of Marda with a vampiric touch. Though you are blinded, you can very strongly smell the large form of Mammy behind you, and it is your turn, Marda.
She has her hand on me though, right? Still?
She literally just touched you. Her hand is right there on your shoulder.
Excellent. Marda, even though she cannot see, reaches up and holds onto where Mammy is touching her, and then is going to cast vampiric touch right back.
Okay. So that is that a fortitude?
Yeah.
Let's see, what's her fortitude? All right. Just the die rollers, because I keep almost losing my dice. That is a 37.
Oh, my goodness.
On a save, is there anything that happens?
No. It's 5 to put it down to a. Well,
So-
no, because it would be a
What's your DC? Save DC?
critical. Yeah, it's 25, so it'd be a critical success that she got, right?
Yeah,
it's
she got a
over.
36.
Yeah. Okay, never mind then.
It cost you 10 to turn that all the way down to a fail. So, as you touch her and attempt to just do this Uno reverse spell, you just hear her. Nice try, dearie. I believe you still have one action left.
Yeah. I do. She's gonna keep walking towards, like, just trying to keep going.
You would hear from the direction of the barn as the doors opened up, and you hear somebody come running out. And by this point, you can probably start to smell the fire coming from that direction as well. So you're going to move another, what is it, 25 feet?
Well, 15,
Oh,
right?
15.
Because her movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. 15 feet.
Okay.
Yep.
That brings us to Flip.
Flip is here. Save the day. The one that's prone and
Already stood up.
Oh, he stood up.
He got
Okay,
knocked
well.
prone, and then he used his action to stand back up.
Okay.
So there's only 2 of them that are currently in this area now.
Okay. Flip is going to target 2 of them. I have a reflex saving throw from each of them, please.
All right. Jeppo gets a reflex of 25.
That is a success.
And Sugar gets a reflex of 19.
Okay.
Sorry, 22.
The one who made 25 takes 7 electric damage, and the one who got 22 takes 15 electric damage as an arc of lightning springs from Flip's fingertip and arcs between them, and he says, "Electrifying!" And he does like the devil's horns.
As you hear Flip call this out, Vornush'ka, the lightning arcs across and strikes your 2 foes. Above you, the barn is rapidly, the roof is rapidly burning, and one of the timbers cracks loose. And I need a reflex saving throw. Vornush'ka, Jeppo, and Sugar. Oh, Sugar got a 17. And Jeppo only got an 18.
That's a shame.
So Vornush'ka, what do you got for reflex saving throw?
21.
That is one more than what you needed. So you succeed, but as the timber comes down, it is going to crash across the soldiers' shoulders of Jeppo and Sugar. They're each going to take 10 points of fire damage as they get hit by this. Well, they're also going to take 5 points of bludgeoning damage from the debris that fell down. So that's 15. So there's Jeppo and Sugar. As Holgrath is running out into the yard, Marda, you in particular here. The rest of you, it's kind of muffled with the crackling fire and the falling timber. But Marda, you hear one of the ogres from inside yell, "Mammy! Mammy! We got 2 of them!" And you hear feet running towards the house. And Mammy is going to... Alright, Mammy, before she does... Okay. I gotta check this, because what I don't know about spells is which spells cost what. I can't spell either, speaking of spells. Okay, so that's 2 actions. So Mammy still has her hand on Marda and is going to... Even in the chat, Cari is filling my attempt to look up rules with a merch call out. Let me target one to it. Oh wait, that's... Oh, sorry. That spell targets undead. You're not undead. Okay. This, I think, might be a mirror of what... Alright, you know what? Screw it. We're gonna do this. Oh my god. Alright, my browser is locking up. So, you know that thing when you're playing Uno and you play a reverse card and then somebody plays a reverse card right back on top of it?
Right. Stacking.
Yep. Marda and Mammy are still in contact with each other. Mammy has just laughed at you. And I need you to make a basic fortitude save.
23.
As Mammy says to you, Marda, I would prefer it if you were alive when I eat you, but I'll take you dead if I need to. So that's a 20 what? 23?
Yeah. Yep, 23.
And as she's saying these words, with each syllable, you feel your life force draining once again. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 points of negative energy. Of negative damage as she... Wait a minute. What level is this spell?
It's level
3.
3.
When you cast it at a higher level, that's heightened, right?
Yep.
All right, because I'm also remembering which spells I've already cast, and that with Pathfinder, when you cast a spell, you use the use of that spell up, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I have to do it at 4th level, which means there's 2 more d6, so it's an additional 9 points of negative damage.
Super.
So that was 27 negative total, which gives her... more temporary hit points. And then you feel her hand leave your shoulder with a little push. I'll remember our time together. And her voice sounds like it's pushing away from you back towards the house. You hear no footsteps as she is still flying. And that is going to be Mammy's turn. Vornush'ka in the burning barn. You are currently engaged with 2, plus Teera has just disappeared into the soft earth of the barn.
Vornush'ka first shouts, Teera! Teera! Nothing, correct?
You see the tip of her sword disappearing into the soil.
The tip of the sword?
Like, that's all that's left, the very
that's
tip
all
of
that's
it,
left.
as she's being pulled under by something.
All right. As the barn is burning down around her, Vornush'ka looks at like the pit that Teera just fell into. Looks at the ogres with the burning, trusses on their shoulders. And I see Flip.
Yeah, Flip just electrified 2 of the ogres a moment ago.
Okay. All right. And can I see Marda?
Marda is outside. You have no idea where Marda is.
All right. Vornush'ka calls to Flip. Not much longer in here, Flip. We gotta go.
Flip, make me a... I would like you to make I don't know if it's perception. Something that would be the equivalent of like insight, maybe? I guess it could be your survival skill, or you could use your...
Bardic lore.
Or you could use your perception skill. This is more about trying to discern something that's happening around you.
Okay. 28.
28. Looking at where Vornush'ka has just called to you, and looking at where Teera just got pulled under the earth, glancing back over your shoulder and looking through the doors, through the flame, past the ogres, out into the yard at the house beyond, you could connect the dots in a straight line from the hole that Cain got pulled through to where Teera got pulled under to the house.
Well, there's clearly a subterranean tunnel network below us. Don't know if it's earthenworks or made of stone, but that's what we're dealing with. And Flip is gonna hold out his hand to Vornush'ka. Now you do your thing. I did my thing about not getting us killed and being a great hero and all that. A genius, also.
So what do you want to do, Vornush'ka? It is your turn.
So I'm told that there's a subterranean tunnel network beneath our feet.
That's what Flip is suggesting.
All right, so using deductive reasoning where Teera just got sucked into, Vornush'ka is going to run to that area and stand in that soft sand. Is it still soft enough for me to sink into it?
I would say sort of. Because you're a full-size orc, when you stand in it, you do begin to sink, but you don't sink as fast as Teera did. Teera looked like she was being pulled, yanked down through this earth.
Okay.
Potentially you could work your way down into it, but it doesn't feel like it's opening directly through into a hole or anything. This is basically as if something popped up out of the sand and then sort of filled back up. Just the earth is all churned up.
How big was the hole in the other room, Jake, that the spider went into?
Barely big enough for Cain to be able to be pulled through it.
Okay, so but Vornush'ka is just as big as Cain, so in theory...
Yeah, the one that you saw the spider go that pull Cain down through was an actual hole.
Vornush'ka, there's a hole back there if you want to go in.
You should have said that before. And Vornush'ka climbs out and runs towards the hole where...
Caving should be done with a guide, but okay.
The ogres are going to lash out at you as you take off.
Okay.
With their opportunity attacks. Whoops, that is a D12. Let's try.
I'm okay with you rolling a D12.
Jeppo gets a total of 24.
Miss.
And Sugar gets a total of 20.
Miss.
Yeah, they both rolled single digits as they're sort of got all this broken stuff around them. And they lash out with their spiked ogre hooks and not even close to getting you as you turn and run towards where Flip is indicating. With your movement, you would be able to make it to the back there, and you can see there is indeed what looks like a burrowed hole. Like it's not formed like what's the word I'm looking for? It's not like an improved construction. Sure. It's like an animal dug it. That's what it looks like.
I can fit through it though, right?
It'll be a tight squeeze. Claustrophobia warning.
Fine. And dives in to the hole.
All right, you dive into the hole and presumably begin crawling through. Do you have any kind of low light vision or dark vision?
Orcs don't get that naturally in PF.
Is that a question or a statement?
Both. Let's see. I don't know.
I don't. I don't know. I don't think so. If you don't have it on your sheet where it says low light vision, then probably not. Oh. Cari's saying that you have dark vision.
Okay.
We'll roll with that for now.
We'll roll with that for now.
Yeah, so you can see that the sort of rounded edges of this tunnel, and now that you're down in the tunnel, you can actually see back where the tunnel kind of went in and heads back towards the way you came from. You can see where there's some churned earth and where something scooted past. And you see the drag marks in the ground where most likely Keen and Teera have been dragged along. Because you're going to be crawling, you're only going to be able to move at half speed, so it's going to take you a few turns to navigate through this tunnel.
Might as well start now.
All right.
I'm gonna smell the air. Can I smell Teera? Because she's so stinky.
I
can't help it.
make a just basic perception check.
Okay. $921.
It smells pretty bad down here.
Yeah.
Whether that's Teera or not, you don't know. But it smells like lots of foul-smelling things have been dragged through this hole.
Gotcha.
I regret saying that statement. Move on. Gonna move on from that.
Keep on crawling through.
Yep. So Vornush'ka has just disappeared down the hole. The barn ogres. So Jeppo and Sugar are going to take this opportunity to turn and run. They are going to leave the barn and run outside, using their full movement, all 3 actions. So they just take off. They run out of the barn. They run out into the yard and Flip. You can clearly see that they are running towards the house. And just like Hogarth, they are running not toward... well, hold on a second. Let's see what they do. Oh, okay. Jeppo runs around to the back of the house, and Sugar does run around to the front of the house and scrambles across the front porch. And you can see as he gets to that front porch, he grabs the front door, and all of a sudden you see him just, shh, let me in! Let me in! Marda, you hear all of this happening around you somewhere. Marda, go ahead and make a fortitude check for me.
$18.
All right, Marda, you are able to surmise that you're basically relatively, from the sound you've been hearing, you're not terribly far from the barn. So in this map, you're roughly right about where these 2 trees are here.
Hey.
What would you like to do? And Mammy, you don't know how far away she is or what direction. You just know that she moved away from you back towards the house.
Yeah, she's not going in. She needs to get back to people, so she is on her way to the barn, I think.
Okay. So using your movement, I'd say you'd be able to get roughly to just inside the door. Flip.
Okay. So Flip is gonna see Marda float down.
Marta's just walking.
Oh, Marda's just walking. So Marda walks into the barn.
She walks into the barn, but in a way that you see her sort of grabbing hold of the door frame, and then sort of reaching out like this into the opening and realizing that she's there and sort of stopping at the opening. It's pretty clear Marda cannot see.
Okay. So Flip is going to shout out to Marda. He's going to say, "Seems like a terrible plan to enter a burning barn, Marda. As plans go, ironically, not the worst today. Follow my voice, Marda. Follow my voice." Actually, wait, no. Flip is going to walk over and he's going to grab Marda by the hand and he's going to lead her toward the back, toward the cave. And then...
So you have 25 movement, right?
Yeah.
So you can, with one action, you can get to Marda.
Yeah.
It'll take you 2 full actions to guide blind Marda all the way back to the hole.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay. As you get back in this back part, I need both of you to make a save, but I need to check something because you're going to get a +2 circumstance bonus to your reflex save. Okay. Although that might be counteracted by your blindness, Marda. Let me just double check that. Because you have a -4 to perception. This does not rely on sight alone, so you're going to make a reflex save with a +2 circumstance bonus, both of you, as the still that was in that first part of the barn there explodes.
16.
I got a 28.
Oh, 18 actually with the +2.
Okay. So an 18 for Marda. Is that what you said?
Yeah, 18.
And a 22. So Flip, you saved.
Yeah.
Marda, you did not.
I got 28. Just to be clear, in case it makes a difference.
It doesn't. It's the DC was 20. So you're not critically succeeding. That's 5, 10, 17, 18 points of fire and shrapnel damage as that still explodes and these parts of the walls cause shrapnel and blast both of you and sort of knock you down and up against the back wall of the barn.
Okay. And that's it. That's my turn.
I was just about to ask, how is Marda doing?
Still alive.
Still alive could mean 50 hit points or 1 hit point, so...
Not looking great.
Flip is going to see Marda in really bad shape. Teera's been waylaid by a creature below ground. Mizya has been taken by a cadre of shadowy cavern elves. Vornush'ka has thrust headlong into a caving expertise without a guide. So clearly not the best decision. And Flip just asks Marda, point blank, "How did you people survive before I got here? I don't even understand. This is like the second day I've known you. The second day. And I'm literally leading you by the hand, and you're still almost dying."
But we are not all dead yet. That is our trick. She says as she grins at you in spite of all of this, like, burning everything.
For the record, Marda, the word yet is doing way too much work in that sentence. But I used all my actions, so I'm done.
All right. So what we're gonna do? So is the intent of Marda and Flip to go down the hole?
Sounds like a Saturday night. Let's do it.
Yep, Marta's going where Flip is leading her, so.
So that is going to be a perfect place to take a break because it's going to take longer than it's going to take several minutes for everybody to navigate their way through this tunnel underground. During which time, partway through the tunnel, Marda, I believe you have dark vision as well, or don't you?
No, I don't. Oh, I do. Low light. I have low light vision.
Okay.
Yeah.
So partway through crawling through this tunnel, you would notice that your vision is starting to come back as that blindness effect wears off. And that is a good time for us to take our break. Because this is an 8 o'clock game. I'm not going to pull that mistake of going until 9:50 again before we take a break. So we're going to go ahead and take about a 10-minute break. And we will return in a few minutes and see you on the other side. And we're back. The three of you are crawling through a burrowed tunnel, presumably in the direction of the ogre house, but definitely through the tunnel, in the tunnel through which Kane and Teera were dragged, as best you can tell. It will take several minutes. Marda, did you want to do your thing in the tunnel before you get out?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you would be within 30 feet of Vornush'ka because of how quickly you and Flip got in the tunnel after her. So.
Okay. Would Marda have the equivalent of two actions?
Yeah, we're out of initiative, so you're sort of moving, you're crawling and kind of listening ahead of you, and you're right now you're out of initiative order. Yes.
Okay. I think Vornush'ka is the most hurt looking.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Vornush'ka. Excuse me. Vornush'ka has taken a lot of damage.
Okay. So first things first, as they're crawling through, like Marta puts her hand down on either maybe like a wall or something, and immediately you wouldn't maybe necessarily see this, but the roots would go spiraling through the wall, and Vornush'ka, you would feel like a sharp like pinch or something hit your side. But then that quick bout of pain is then initially then kind of soothes. As first, I'm going to use one of my oracular curse spells to heighten the healing that I'm about to give you, and then I'm going to cast heal, which then is going to heal all living creatures, and is going to heal. So Flip is going to heal 5, I'm going to heal 5, and then Vornush'ka is going to heal 13.
So as the healing energy washes over Flip, he sort of looks over his shoulder one way and looks over his shoulder the other and says, no, I'm fine. Thanks, though.
All right, so you're able to do that.
I will. Flip is gonna dig into his bag and he's gonna pull out some charcoal and he's gonna sort of crush it up in his hands and he's gonna like dip his thumb in and he's gonna like wipe it on Vornush'ka's face and he's gonna wipe it on Marda's face and he too is going to cast heal, and the healing energy is going to emanate from his central core, and it is going to restore So it says if the target is a willing living creature, you restore 2d8 hit points. But then if you use 2 actions, you increase the hit points restored by 16. So does that mean it's 16 plus the 2d8?
I believe so. What's the spell?
Heal.
Yeah, I think so. So that's what Marda has too.
So Marda and Vornush'ka get back 26 points of healing love as Flip begins reciting the intro to his new epic tale, A Song of Ice and Flip. There I was, standing at the gates of evil. I looked inside, I saw my friend there, battling a giant spider that was 5 times her size. And it was up to me to save her because she was outmatched.
I don't know what it is about what you said, but I feel great.
Yeah, I have that effect on people, really.
Thank you, Marta. I appreciate the help as well.
So that would be, you said 26, Flip?
Yeah.
So 39 HP you have been restored, Vornush'ka.
As you do this to Marda, Marda does not look any better.
Flip is gonna like sort of steeple his fingers together. He's just gonna say, Marda,
Yes.
Is there something you need to share with a group?
I don't know what you mean.
Oh, all right. Well, Well, how do I mean? What do I mean? Well, I just cast a healing spell. You know, the power of positive energy compels you, and it had no effect on you. It's almost like something evil inside you resisted it. I don't know. That's not what I said. That's just sort of what the situation is saying. Thoughts?
What, this sweet one here, evil? Oh, come now.
Vornush'ka, I've literally been dancing around this for 2 days. It's all I've talked about. Like, where have you been? Marda has the soul of evil that she's trying to overcome. Like, where have you been in this narrative?
Easy now. I mean, I've heard you say it, but
it's not that
directly.
Easy. It's not that easy. It's quite difficult. I'm very intelligent.
You see, I don't think that is what it is. I appreciate your...
Okay, then what is it?
I'm not sure. I have been like this when we fought the serpent or the whatever it was in the water. When I help others, sometimes I overextend myself, and it cannot be returned. The favor cannot be returned to heal me. It seems to go away after a day, though. So as long as we survive, or as long as I survive, then I will be fine tomorrow.
That's not normal.
Marta just shrugs. It's like, well, what is normal? We are crawling through a whatever this is.
This is a demon's asshole. Sort of we're getting up to the colon area now. And gotta tell you, I don't want to be here. But as for what's normal, generally creatures, unless they're evil, undead, maybe demonic or devilishly influenced, don't resist the power of positive energy. For example, there's a spell. Let me think. What's it called? Heal. I've got a spell called Heal. And what I do is I get this charcoal and I like mix it up and then I rub it on people. And when I do that, Marda, can you guess what happens?
I have a very similar ability, so
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, they become healed. But in your case, it didn't. So, see, people who are healed by heal, normal, those outside the norm, i.e., those who aren't healed by heal. You see where I'm going with this, right? Like, I don't need to go further down this tunnel, right?
Wait a minute
No.
now. Flip, who are you to judge? What are you trying to say?
Well, if I'm being honest, I'm a judicial scholar of some repute. So if anybody's going to be judging here, it's going to be me.
Okay, well, let's...
Do you have legal standing in Absalom? Because I do.
You're testing my patience. Listen, as of now, we have a lot of problems. One of them being in the, as you would say, asshole of a demon.
Yeah.
Let us resolve these issues first, and then we can figure out who's good, who's been naughty, who is nice around a campfire later. But for now, let's pull together. Thank you for the healing, and let's move forward. We're missing Teera.
Just to clarify, this isn't some secret Santa shit. This is like Heart of Darkness, Soul of the Devil type stuff. Just to clarify, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep giving this deep colonoscopy, but I'm just not into it, is what I'm saying. And now, Marda, anyways, continue. Let's go forward. The sooner we cleanse this colon, the sooner we get expelled through the other side.
And then we can track down the demons and the devils in all of us.
While this is happening, Marda is going to cast Heal on herself, and she looks a lot better. But a little bit better.
As this happens, we do one of those sort of the camera moves through the layers of dirt until we come up through a stone floor, and the camera moves very slowly along this stone floor where we see the giant ogre spider with Teera wrapped up partially in webbing, placed into a room as a large, much larger than the other ogres. A large ogre comes shuffling in through the room here, and he's kind of holding his left arm up a little bit, and he's limping on his left side. There's an arm that looks like it's been broken multiple times and never quite healed properly. Same thing with his leg. As he limps forward, and he says to the spider, "Put that one on the skin shucking rack. Take the other one upstairs with the others. Mammy will see to them."
As he's saying that,
You don't hear any of this.
oh, we don't hear any of it?
No, this is... We've moved up into the house with the camera move to focus on Teera. You guys are still navigating the tunnel.
In Teera. Everything's always about Teera. God damn it.
Teera, you are placed on a table You have been wrapped up as you were dragged through this tunnel, wrapped up by the spider in a way that pinned your sword up against you, and you were fully restrained. And as you are placed on this table, this large ogre begins to fasten shackles to your ankles. I am going to give you an opportunity to attempt to break free if you would like.
Yeah, I definitely want to try to kick this fucker right in the face, if I could do that. What kind of roll is that?
Well, in order to
Strength?
be able to fully kick him, you're going to have to break free from the webbing.
Okay. So, strength, athletics.
That is going to be an athletics check. And let me check my ogre spider here.
Athletics is a 31.
Okay. That is absolutely enough to break the webbing. Or with one action. So you can absolutely try to kick this ogre in the face.
Yep, and to make an unarmed attack, like, is that just my straight up strength score, or what?
I believe so, unless you have an unarmed thing on there.
I do not. Okay.
I thought. Let me check something.
Seems like everybody should have a unarmed.
I thought there was an unarmed.
And I presume I was kind of watching in and out. I don't have my sword.
You do. You were holding onto your sword as you got pulled underground, and it was sort of tied up with you. You just broke the binding.
So, like, I don't have, like, a... Okay.
So you do have your sword. So you could make a sword attack if you wanted, for that matter. Or you could try to kick him in the face.
Well, now that I know I have my sword, I definitely want to make a sword attack instead. Please.
Okay, you can do so.
Alrighty. Oh, you'll never guess what. It's a nat 20, bitches.
Let's go.
Okay. For a total of?
For a total of 38 to hit.
Okay.
I need more dice.
So you're going to roll damage, and you're going to double that damage, but hold on. Because that's a crit. We'll break out the crit deck. The crit hit deck. And I'm
starting to feel how it must feel to be Flip. The spotlight.
All right, you say...
Pressure, the fame.
Just tell me when to stop.
Stop.
So that is slashing?
Yes.
Okay. So you got an effect called Swing Through.
Okay.
So you do double damage to this this large ogre.
Mm-hmm.
And your sword will pass right past him using the same attack modifier. You will make your sword will also strike the ogre spider that's still in the room.
Oh my god. So, here's what happens. I got, with my double damage, I got 42 points of damage.
Good lord.
And additional 3 points of cold damage.
So 45 on a one hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boom.
So your attack modifier, let me read that again. It says swing through. I lost it now.
No. So, oh wait, sorry. Add another 12 to that because of my strength score. Sorry, add another 8 to that. My bad. So it should have been 53 points total.
Jeez. What is going on?
Teera's pissed off.
So you are also able to make an additional attack against a foe adjacent to the original. Oh, okay, I got it. You're going to attack. You're not going to get the multi-attack penalty. Is what's happening.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
you get a free attack on the spider basically because your attack was so powerful.
Okay, here I go.
Here I go.
Here I go again. 23 points to hit the spider. 23 to hit the spider.
That is its AC. So
Sick. Yes.
Finish
Oh my
him.
god. Finish him. Oh boy, that's quite good. That is 19 plus 4, so it's 23 plus 1d6 of cold is 25 points of damage on the spider.
Wow.
okay.
Did you do like 75 points of damage on just showing up off the bench?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I imagine Teera did some kind of a breakdancing move. So now she is standing on this table and she just went wham. Or maybe not. It's just my mental image.
So yeah, and that was only one action.
Oh, well, I would like to attack the ogre again, please.
Okay.
Here I go, and I do take
this
the
will
attack
be the
penalty on this
multi-attack
one. Yep.
penalty of -5.
Yep. That's a 31 to hit him.
Wow.
That is a hit, not a crit.
Not a crit?
Not a crit.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter.
17, that's 24, plus 4 is 28, plus 1d6 of cold damage is 32 points of damage.
Did you do over 100 points of damage? I think you did over 100 points of damage.
I think so. We'll have to go
Nope.
back and check the math.
It's 85 total you've done to this in 2 attacks.
Thanks, Ricky. I'm done.
As you lash out, the spider quickly, when you hit the spider with that swing through, you actually sever one of its legs.
Hell yeah.
And the spider disappears through the open door, scuttling away, leaving the unconscious Cain behind, ignoring the orders that were given to him.
Yeah,
To
damn
it.
right. Priorities.
The barbarian, you're the barbarian.
Damn right I am.
The ogre is going to fall back from these massive attacks with these wounds opening up on him. They should not have grabbed you. And he reaches over to a shelf and he grabs a glass jar and he slams it down on the ground.
Oh no.
And as he does so, the jar shatters and the contents. This is a large jar. Picture one of those like giant pickle jars.
Like a big, yeah.
Yeah, like you just went to Costco and you got
Yes. The 1,000 pickles.
yes. And it shatters and something scatters across the floor, littering the floor. As he turns and disappears through the door that is right the open door that the spider went through, and you immediately hear him opening another door. As he is, so let's see, action. Yeah, he's gonna disappear back into the other room, leaving you and Cain in that room. Cain is still unconscious. We're going to, as that happens and he runs through, Vornush'ka, make me, actually all three of you, make me a perception check. The three of you that are in the tunnel.
23 from me.
24.
I rolled a 1.
Damn.
You're at the back of the pack. You don't really hear much of anything, but Vornush'ka, you hear what faintly sounds like a sound you've heard a few times of Teera engaged in a fight. And then you hear the sound of breaking glass, and you swear you hear footsteps not far overhead. And you realize you can now see just a little ways ahead of you. There is a little bit of light coming from the top part of the tunnel.
Okay. Vornush'ka is gonna kind of like smirk.
Square. Like a square outline of like light leaking through the edges of a trapdoor.
Okay. Vornush'ka's gonna smirk, and she's gonna be like, "That Teera, well, you can say a lot about her, but she's definitely a fighter." And
What does
See,
that
the-
have to do with anything?
I'm just saying, like, she's up there fighting. a good
Sorry,
fight.
Flip, you also heard all this. The sounds. Sorry. Marta didn't. I meant to say both of you heard those sounds.
Oh, all right. Right. Yeah, it's great, Ham Hawks. She's really kicking some ass. Why don't you go back her up? I'll stay here and be rear guard.
My thoughts exactly. And Vornush'ka, is there enough room for me to tear off running, or do I bear crawl?
You're still like you're low crawling. You've just
Okay.
reached the end, and you can. There's a trap door above you. Seems to be the only
Okay.
way.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to. I'm an idiot. I'm gonna bust through that trapdoor.
Okay.
And the way that
Yes.
Kurt Russell did in Big Trouble in Little Chinatown is, you know.
You slam the trap door open and kind of pop up, and you're at like waist level in some kind of a storeroom that's about 20 feet by 20 feet. I need you to make a reflex saving throw as you throw the
no.
door open, snapping the line that is holding a large crate on a pulley to the ceiling.
Oh no! Am I going to get Looney Tunes out of here?
Could very well
Perhaps.
be.
What's my reflex? Hold on. I lost it on my character sheet. I see it. There it is. 24.
24. I believe that is a full-on miss. Let me just double check.
I'm missing what way?
That's what I'm going to double check.
I see.
I'll let you sweat for a moment, wondering if I missed or you missed. I believe you take no damage. I'm just checking. I don't know how
Vornush'ka holds up a little sign that says "Yipes" right before.
yeah,
crashes
it
to
doesn't
the
say
ground.
anything about half damage, so it's a falling debris trap, basically. This looks like it was hastily put together, probably in reaction to the sudden appearance of the spider coming through. Somebody threw this trap together really quickly, and you threw the door open, the trap door open so quick, you snapped the line, which caused a little tension and actually pulls this old crate that was strapped to the ceiling, and it falls right in front of you on the floor, sort of at waist height, and sort of shatters. And you see it's a literal box of hammers, like rusted hammerheads that just scatter across the floor, but it makes a tremendous noise.
Yes.
And Teera, you hear this sound from basically in a similar direction to which the ogre that your ogre captor had disappeared.
In the same room that I'm in?
No, it's not in the room you're in.
No.
It came from, you heard it from the open doorway of the room you're in. Actually, let me do this, because this is probably going to make it a little easier for you to get spatial awareness. Since I do have... Oh, I should probably turn the map screen on, not just turn the map on.
That would help. Oh!
So, Teera, you are in this room.
Okay. The one with the blood?
Yep, you are...
Ah.
We're attempting to be strapped to this skin shucking rack.
Yikes.
And Vornush'ka, you just came up in this room here. It's a storeroom. The ogre disappeared through, and the spider disappeared through this door. The spider turned and ran up the stairs. The ogre went back this way.
Where'd I come through again? I'm sorry, I missed it.
You are in this room.
Okay.
It appears to be a storage room. And Teera, backtracking just a moment, the room you are in has, I mean, there are blood stains and mold everywhere. Whoops, sorry, that is the wrong room. This dark recessed corner of the basement very clearly smells of rotten old blood. There are piles of gore spattered, well, it's a skin shucking room, so there's piles of old skins.
Oh my
and not all
God.
animals. Yeah, let's just say I'll use the term human taxidermy, and that's as far as I'll go to explain what's happening in this room.
Buffalo Bill shit. Also, I'm invisible on this screen, Jacob.
Oh.
But yeah, no worries. That's gross. I hear this sound and I'm looking like, is Kane just laying on the ground of this room?
Yeah, the spider just dropped him there, and he is completely unconscious.
What did this guy? Do I see the stuff that leaked out of this jar when this guy like?
Oh, if you take a moment and look, because you're sort of sitting on the table.
Yeah.
There is broken glass and a few dozen leathery, sharp, hardened noses.
Oh my God.
Basically, they're caltrops, but
they're noses.
They're noses.
Got it. Okay, gross. I'm gonna get down and I'm gonna rip Kane, like the webbing off Kane.
Kane is not webbed.
I'm gonna try to wake up Kane.
How are you trying to wake him up?
Whacking him in the face.
You start slapping him across the face, and it takes a few moments, and he's just...
Hey, wake up! Wake up!
What time is it?
I have no idea, but we're in danger.
Wait,
You need to buck up.
where are
don't
we?
look
Ow, what
don't
is...
take it.
Why are there noses everywhere?
It's a skin shucking room. I think it's terrible.
It's a what? Vornush'ka, you hear Kane's voice from the other room go, it's a what?
Yeah. Vornush'ka is gonna run into the room. And I see Teera and Kane immediately, right?
Yeah, as you climb out, you would see
Yeah.
Teera and Kane in that room.
Yeah. and then I
Do
see
you run
all-
into the room?
No, I'm gonna Looney Tunes sneak in there. Well, no, I want to avoid traps. That's all. Cautiously.
I will gently go into the room.
You basically
Yeah.
you run to the doorway and you can clearly see that they're in there
Okay.
and that they are surrounded by caltrops on the
Weirdness.
floor,
Yeah.
nose traps.
Yeah. And Vornush'ka looks around and goes, "What the fuck?" Okay.
Vornush'ka?
Teera, you're alive.
Holy shit. Yeah. And then I kind of am frantically like trying to help Kane up to his feet.
Teera, I need you and Kane to make acrobatics check.
I kind of want to go over there and help Kane. Like
I
For a
need you
walk.
to also make an acrobatics check.
that, I can do because I'm good at acrobatics.
I got a 31.
Jeez.
Should be late more often. This is my
Uh,
problem. I've been punctual this whole fucking time. That's why I roll like shit.
Well,
Kevin? Why did I say Kevin?
Who's Kevin?
I don't know.
Kane, not
Thank-
Kevin. I don't know why I said Kevin.
His real name is Kevin.
No, I don't know why I said Kevin.
I love that.
I stuttered on the K sound and Kevin came out.
That's incredible.
Kane. Oh, I know why I said it. Kane gets a 7, is what I was
Oh.
trying to say.
Got
Kane, as you're helping him up, what'd you get, Vornush'ka?
18.
That's good enough. Kane basically puts his hand right down on one of these and opens his hand up. As you can imagine, if you put your hand down on a sharpened D4, and he is bleeding profusely from his hand, But he just sort of squeezes it. The blood's kind of leaking around it, but he's just like, ah! I don't know where we are, but I don't like it.
Am I bleeding from my hand too?
You...
Did I catch that I was grabbing the blade of my sword at some point?
That was more flavor. It got
mind.
packed full of dirt as you got dragged through the earth, so... Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
But Kane took a nose to the hand, and it is quite sharpened.
Damage.
Well,
Okay.
I know how to get down at least. Let's get out of here. And there's no other way out of this area, correct?
You're standing at the bottom of stairs that lead up.
Oh, okay.
You are in the basement of the house.
Ah, so the house goes all the way outside then.
You can get outside the house, I'm sure.
That's what I'm asking. Yeah, can you go outside
Yeah.
the house? Okay.
Well, not from the basement, but you could climb up the stairs
Oh,
and
eventually.
go out.
Yeah. I climb up the stairs. Vornush'ka climbs up the stairs, and wait a minute. Teera and Kane are in the basement too? Because me and Teera saw each other last turn.
You are all in the basement.
Ah, we're all in the basement. Okay.
This whole area on screen is the basement.
The basement.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, let's definitely go upstairs. I'm gonna yell down back into the hatch. To Flip and Marda to come up so we can get out of here through the upstairs.
As you turn to yell back through the hatch, I need to check something.
Also, the whole
Um,
reason we were here was to rescue people. Have we found people?
Oh, you left 2 of them in the burning barn.
Oh. And they were in there and you guys didn't get them?
I didn't know
The-
there were people in there.
The barn was
Actually,
burning.
Flip did not know
Oh,
there were
that's
people in
fair.
the cage in
Total-
the room. The
I
only
didn't
ones
know
that,
Marda,
she
in
was
fact,
blind.
the only one who knew there were prisoners in there were Kane and Teera. So
Fuck.
it is
Oh,
not your
no.
fault that you left 2 prisoners inside cages in a burning barn.
Ugh. The guilt.
So
I feel fine.
you need to. Okay. I'm trying to. So many things here. All right.
Because Jake is organizing his tabs, check us out on teespring.com. At teespring.com, we have t-shirts, sweatshirts, tank tops, stickers, and so much more. Spring.com. Oh, so I'm sorry. Teespring.com. Just search Mini Terrain Domain. They're back to Teespring now.
Shit. As you turn to yell at Flip and Marda, you hear the sound of something being released. You hear the quick sound of a rope under tension and a. Let me try that again. And
Nice.
I need you to make a reflex save, Vornush'ka, as you are standing in the doorway.
Oh, God. It's a doorway guillotine.
As this is happening, Flip is gonna turn back to Marda, who's behind him, and he's gonna say, "They're not dumb enough to try and find another way out, right? They are going to go back the other way, like this way, right?"
I certainly hope so. That's not be smart.
Well, to be fair, most of Vornush'ka's brains are in her thighs.
Wow. Vornush'ka has a 28.
Oh my God! Hell yeah, Vornush'ka! You're so reflexive.
But I don't know. It's Pathfinder, so that may be a 6.
No,
That's right.
No, 28 is a 28, and it is also a fail.
See?
What?
Yes. Hold on.
This trap was not hastily made.
It was not. Ooh. 16. 20.
Gary, as you drank your drink right there, it looked like a reality show where they have to blur out what
30.
brand it is.
plus
For the record, if Vornush'ka gets decapitated,
40.
Flip is not putting her head back on her body.
45, 46, 47,
Oh my god, no. No, 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 no.
57, 64, 65 points of slashing damage as a literal scything blade swings down under tension from the ceiling and slams right through you. Like, it pierces you just... Teera, you and Kane see the tip of this blade come out Vornush'ka's back, and Vornush'ka's actually lifted up a little bit into the air.
Fuck.
You take, what did I say that was? 65, I think?
Mhm.
I lost track. 65 points of slashing damage for
Are
Vornush'ka.
you okay?
Yeah. Please.
You
Okay.
Are you okay?
and Vornush'ka, you can see through the open doorway, some 30 feet away at the end of that room, to the lower right corner, before the hallway goes to the left, you see an older looking ogre has just released. He's holding the end of the rope that he pulled to release this trap on you deliberately. You are. I don't think impaled is a. No, impaled is not a.
I mean, if it's coming out on my other side of my body, then I'm definitely.
No, you are impaled, but I would say at this moment you are restrained. You're immobilized, because you are pierced by this large scything blade. And you. I mean, sepsis is the least of your worries, but it does not look like a clean blade. And I would say if Marda and Flip, were either of you attempting to come up out of the hole and see what was going on?
I mean, no.
Okay.
We're
you
assuming
We're
they're
waiting
coming
for them
back
to
this
come
way.
back because there's really no other way to handle
That
this
is
situation.
Right.
You wouldn't try and penetrate the enemy fortress when you could just go out the other way. We've been literally beaten face first every stick on the way down this tree, and now we're just going to leave. We're not going to go and say, "Hit me again, tree," right?
You sound angry about this.
With
Great thought,
that
Flip.
thought, Flip, I would like you and Marta to make perception checks, please.
You're just gonna go.
29.
Also 29.
Wow.
You are starting to smell the very strong scent of smoke coming through the tunnel from the direction you came from the burning barn. And it is evident that this tunnel is filling up with smoke. But with a 29, you both can also hear scuttling coming towards you.
Ooh.
What a shame. I guess I can't go back the way we came.
I mean, you can certainly try.
Nope. You hear a very frantic Marda of just, Flip, let's go this way. I think that they might have had a point.
I think somebody had a point, but I don't think it was them. And sure, Flip will go toward the basement. All I'm hearing in the background is choo choo.
Wow.
Okay. Well, a tunnel is not unlike a rail. But you did leave a burning barn behind you.
I'm not saying it doesn't make sense.
Hey, at least, you guys see what happened though? Marta and Flip are working together.
Yes. Happenstance.
So the two of
frenemies.
you climb up out of through the floor hatch, into this room. You see that there is basically one of the floor tiles is on a hinge, that Vornush'ka threw open.
You're welcome.
And then there's a door right over there. Through the open door, you can see Vornush'ka leaking a whole lot of blood. Basically, all of the healing that you did, Marda and Flip, you can see that Vornush'ka has clearly just undone it all.
Hold on. the scythe through my body has undone
That
it
is
all.
100%
Vornush'ka has not
correct,
undone
Ricky.
anything.
No.
And who's on the scythe?
Vornush'ka is doing her best.
Her market best. Yeah, she does one of those things where you know how whenever the good guy gets one of those quasi-fatal wounds and they go and like a big puff of blood comes out, that's what she just did as a big
At this
splatter of
point,
dark-
Vornush'ka is lightly, with every move, is kind of going, feet just dangling off the ground from this scythe, where it lifted you up.
And-
The ogre disappears around the corner, and Marda and Flip, you hear the scuttling growing ever closer of something crawling through the tunnel.
Help me get down.
I would immediately help Vornush'ka. I would run to Vornush'ka and it almost looks like a hug, but in this situation, Teera is trying to support Vornush'ka's weight as she's trying to get her off of this fucking scythe.
Yeah, it's gonna take more than that to kill me. Do I take damage as the blade pulls out of me?
Yeah, probably.
That's gonna depend on Teera.
Okay.
Oh man.
I need Teera to make an athletics check.
Athletics, huh? Okay. I can do that. Oh god. You know what? Because it's important. Oh, never mind. I don't know yet. It is a 23 athletics. How's that? That good?
Ooh.
Oh god, no. I don't want to kill
Let's go.
Vornush'ka.
It's not
let's
you.
trying to
grow
It's
up.
not you. It's Kane who's trying to help.
Fucking, oh my god. Get your child ass out of here. God damn it.
Is there supposed to be music right now?
It's really quiet.
Okay,
It's okay. It'll come through in post.
there we go. Can't die in quietness.
Yeah, no, you can't die in silence. That'd be lame.
So the critical fumble decks don't really make sense in this situation. So,
Make one up, Jake. You're the
I'm
storyteller.
going to. Teera, you're struggling to lift all of Vornush'ka off this blade cleanly. Kane comes over and says, "All right, let me help," and immediately pushes against you, and you see the blade make more of a cut as you pull Vornush'ka off. Vornush'ka, you take another 7 points of slashing damage.
Are you okay?
And you also because of the nature of this, oh shit, you are gonna take 1d8 of persistent bleeding damage until you are somebody either does healing, magical or otherwise, or you pass a DC 15 flat check to recover from it. But for now, you are bleeding as you take more damage, but you are now free from the scythe.
Okay.
Marda,
I give Kane kind of a dirty look.
I was trying to help.
It's fine. It's fine.
Marda and Flip. Something's coming fast.
Kill it, Flip!
Sorry, Marta, you were muted.
You cannot by chance go any quicker, can you?
I mean, I could. Flip will cast triple time, increasing their speed by 10 feet.
Nice.
So as they're sort of scurrying forward, he's going to be humming, "Hi ho, it's more quickly we go. Do, 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 do." And so they're advancing through the tunnel.
Well done.
Wait, You're going back the way you came?
No.
You're already out of the tunnel. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't. Oh.
The two of you
okay.
already came out of the tunnel.
I did not think they did either.
Yeah, I thought we were
Good.
still in the tunnel.
We did.
No,
it.
you would. I asked you what you were going to do, and you said you were going to move as quick as you could to get out of the tunnel. In the
Well,
last
I guess we're
section.
gonna observe and report.
And that's when I said you are in the storage room, and you see the hinged piece of floor that was the trapdoor to the tunnel. That was my assumption, was that you had climbed out of the hole. If you still want to be in the hole, that's fine.
Flip will close the trapdoor
Okay.
Yes.
because that's what
you-
heroes do.
You slam the trapdoor shut just as something slams against it.
Oh, it was close.
Stupid.
Another guillotine.
You hear some sort of animal sound as something slams against, and you just see the trapdoor go.
I would like to make a nature check.
Sure.
Nice.
And I would like to determine what kind of animal sound it's making. Does it sound like a bear? 25.
So,
Dude, great question. I didn't even think of that.
Flip is a genius.
sorry, you got a 25, you said?
I did.
No, it sounds like a very, very... Well, the 25, nature check, it sounds like a very large rat. It sounds like two very large rats of a variety known as donkey rats. They are the size of very large wolves.
Oh my god.
And in fact, I will even give you, because of that line of thought and your 25 nature check, you hear the sound of a bear coming from somewhere upstairs and outside.
Oh, okay. Well, this is great. Great. Okay. So let me ask you, just typically from a group strategy perspective, does Vornush'ka clear traps with her face generally, or do you try and look for them and like disarm them?
Well, I think she usually does it with her face, unfortunately.
I am a battlefield warrior.
Uh-huh.
Still gotta be strategic. If you're on a battlefield, you gotta be strategic, which means you got to be careful. No
I mean-
doorways, no trapdoors.
You're
Watch your
blaming the
tripwires.
person.
No, go on. I'm very curious to hear what you had to say.
No, I just want to kill the thing.
You're blaming the person
That's-
who
sets the traps.
We have to get out of here. It's not the time for
And
petty
Vornush'ka just kind of like
squabbles.
is coughing up blood as it's like, you know,
Make a
like the blood is like.
roll a d20, Vornush'ka. The rats are unsuccessfully, they're just slamming against the trap door. They do not appear to have the strength to pop it open. For anybody wondering, a donkey rat looks like a rabid capybara.
Nobody was wondering.
Incredible. I was,
Or-
but that's Cari. So incredible.
or-
Yeah, I got a 13 on that roll.
Okay, you're still bleeding. You take another 4 points of bleeding damage. What are y'all gonna do?
So we need to get
Um,
out of here. We need to escape.
Flip will cast another spell, and everyone will receive 26 points of healing again.
Nice, damn.
How many points?
Well,
26.
almost
That's
everyone.
exactly
Marda.
what I needed.
Almost everyone will
you.
receive 26 points of healing.
Yeah.
Hey, Marda,
Mhm.
I noticed the positive energy wasn't that beneficial to you again.
It's funny. It's almost like I told you that it would go away tomorrow.
It's almost like you did that, but you know, typically positive is a good thing. Just saying.
Typically, you'd be right.
I mean, not always. It hurts some people. But they're usually undead. Or demons. Or devils. Or some other... Anyways, Flip is gonna peek around the corner and see if he can see any traps.
So you're in this room, you're looking down the hall.
Yeah.
That's where you're looking, the hall and the stairs?
Sure.
Okay. That's going to be a... these have a very specific... How do you check for traps in Pathfinder? Is it just
No idea.
perception? Check for...
There's a feat called Trap Sense. Trap Sense. And then you would just make a perception if you have that feat.
But if you
nothing.
don't have it, what do you do?
Perception check.
Just straight perception check.
I think Trap Sense gives you a bonus if you're looking for that. If you're not, you just do perception.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, perception check then, Flip.
Okay. 17.
You can clearly see the obvious trap that grabbed Vornush'ka, and you can see the pulleys that were rigged. With that, seeing the obvious trap, you kind of sense, plus the remnants of the trap in the room that just missed Vornush'ka. Somebody seems to have an ability to rig traps with whatever is available. They don't look like they're, they're not made with like Acme parts. They're like homemade pulleys and block and tackle and things like that, but they're very well made. And you do not see any other signs leading up the stairs from this.
Vornush'ka, it's safe.
Vornush'ka and Teera, you are aware that the spider went up the stairs and the ogre headed back this way and disappeared around the corner.
Okay.
That's your environmental information.
I'm like, I think Teera was still raging from the previous time. I don't.
How
think
long
the
does a
time
rage
is
last?
10 rounds, 6 minutes.
I think your rage would have worn off by now.
Okay, that's okay. Tira's still pissed. I'm not raging. I'm just angry.
I'm not,
not rage.
raging. I'm
It's just kind of like I'm miffed. And Teera would just say, "It's like I'm gonna go kill that ogre."
Yeah, me too.
And I would kind of skulk around that corner to where I saw I'm like, 3 minutes. You can time me. And I would go down around that corner and I would try to hunt down that fucking ogre.
And
it was gonna skin me.
Vornush'ka, you were following?
Vornush'ka goes, I'll keep pace, and starts keeping pace with Teera as she's going behind.
All right. As you...
That is very much like a follow action in like a Diablo-esque game. It's like, I'll keep pace.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm with you.
Yeah, it's almost like in Final Fantasy where, like, they drag the characters around, they all follow in the party.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the two of you head to the corner and you sort of peer around the corner and you see that the hallway goes into another room. that has almost like a greenish white light spilling out of it. And you can hear what sounds like the ogre's voice talking, but you can't quite make out what he's saying.
Okay.
You continue your pursuit.
I would approach with caution.
Vornush'ka says one thing to Teera, and she goes, I saw my life flash before me with that sky, that trap through me. Teera. And she looks very, deep into her eyes for a moment, and she goes,
And Tira's been kind of glancing over her shoulder, but she would turn quickly and face Vornush'ka a little bit more.
if I die, be sure to bring this axe to my brother.
And Teera looks surprised at that for a second, and then she kind of her gaze hardens again, and she just nods.
And then Vornush'ka goes, okay. And she grips her orc splitter / axe, and she goes, shall we?
Let's show. And we would go around the corner
As you
into the lava lamp room.
move around the corner into this room, you see, already as you're getting closer to it, you can smell the scent of rotting vegetable matter. It smells a lot like a compost heap.
Oh.
Parts and cabbage.
But it's also, you can feel that the air is getting thicker with the steamy moisture. It's damp. You can see as you take another step, your foot sort of squelches on the floor as you realize that there's mud and stagnant water and moss on the floor. And as you grow closer, you see that the walls in this space are caked with thick swaths of puffy fungus and mold. And as you move forward and peer into the full room, you see that there are vines grasping out against the walls and the ceiling, and in the far corner of that room you see the face of what, the best way I can describe it is, the features are clearly ogre, but if an ogre could have the look of the handsomest man in the world in the face, like his face looks almost beautiful.
Wow.
But that's the only part of him that looks like that. As you see where the cords of his neck would be are thick vines, and they stretch across, and all of his muscular is made up of bark and vines and intertwined plants. And he seems to be growing into the corner of this room. And even as you enter in, you see vines almost like they're growing, just sort of continuously creeping along, feeling. And in the other corner of the room, you see that first ogre. Whoa.
Oh, he's big and he's over
He's
there.
over here. This ogre's here. And the I would like anybody who is trained in nature can make a recall knowledge check.
Me. 17.
I'm going to use a tome.
Attaboy.
I didn't get as good as 17. I
Okay.
don't think.
You can roll
I
again with
got-
your tome.
I did.
Oh,
I got
sorry.
worse. I got 16.
Okay.
But is that a success?
No,
All right.
it is not. So you don't know what this is, but I saw somebody in our side chat mentioned pirate, part of the crew of the ship, like Pirates of the Caribbean, but also think I would be thinking along the lines of both The Last of Us and along the lines of what was that called? The Natalie Portman movie where they went through the little portal and everything had stuff growing. Annihilation. Thank you.
Nice.
That's kind of what this looks like. In the face, this ogre kind of looks at you all curiously, the two of you, as you walk into the room. And he says, "Are these the ones you warned me about, Father Brother?"
I'm sorry?
And the ogre in the corner says, "Yes, Muck, it's them, kill them!" And you see as the fungus rapidly starts to grow towards you.
Oh, God.
And that's where we're going to end this session.
Shit. Fuck. Rubbing alcohol. We gotta get a flamethrower in here. Where's Mizya when you need him?
If Teera dies, then we originally have no original characters from.
That's not going to happen, Ricky.
Teera's not the one who's been pincushion this entire, this whole thing.
We act as if I sought out a pin and then wanted myself to be the cushion.
That's a great point. Great point.
If it makes you feel any better, there is a moment, if you go back and watch, right before, around the time I'm having you make the check, and I look up the specific trap, where you can see the surprise on my face when I see that particular trap does 14d8 of damage.
14d8? That's wow.
Good, I survived.
Indeed.
It.
Yeah, you did. What a tough cookie. Tough cookie.
So, we are glad that you were able to make it for at least for an hour of the game, Cari.
Thank you guys for being so accommodating. I appreciate it.
I hate to think what would have happened to Teera if you didn't make it. Given that I think
we all know.
You were being put into, as it's called, the skin shucking room. The skin shucking room.
Yeah, I probably would have found every trap, like mouse traps, a bad mortgage plan, a reverse mortgage. Bad investment.
This house is upside down.
Just everything that could have been a bad decision for Vornush'ka to make, she probably would have done. Got a loan from JD by Ryder.
There's termites. There's clearly a water moisture problem in the basement. It's all bad.
$500 a month for a 96 Grand Prix? Yes, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Let's see here. Let me just do a quick check before we bounce. Definitely this group has gotten themselves into... I would even hazard to say, before we switched over to Pathfinder, this is the most dangerous situation overall that you found yourself in. I cannot think of a more dangerous situation. Okay, here's what I wanted to see. We are going to... Let me just make sure they're still doing stuff. We're going to send a raid over to Evandale. They are also playing Pathfinder. Looks like they might be doing a possibly a one-on-one. But we're going to send everybody over there in just a moment. Thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. Thank you for the subs and the bits and all that good stuff. And if you're somebody that's lurking quietly in the chat, we thank you for joining with us, and I hope you enjoyed your stay. And as I said, we're going to throw a raid over to Evandale. There they are in just a moment. But also a huge thank you, as always, to these incredible players that even though it may at times seem like you're on rails, you're not. But welcome to the ride, choo choo.
Let's go.
Thank you to Gary, Cari, M, Ricky, and though he wasn't with us tonight, he's with us in spirit, Dwight, without whom this would just be me talking to myself for a couple of hours. With that, we're going to go ahead and end this stream the same way we end every stream. You can say it with me if you want. Metadata.